welcome back to another instalment of yoga with me, Sam, your yoga teacher. Today I'm going to be guiding you through a really slow, mindful and gentle practice, very to the ground. And this practice is perfect for those days where perhaps you're feeling a little bit heavy in your energy and you just really need to kind of show yourself a bit of tender loving care. So all you're going to need for this is your mat and just an open mind, and yeah, let's go ahead and get started, shall we, Poppy? Okay friends, so we are going to begin by lying down on our mat. So let's just take a really slow and mindful journey there, taking our time, just rolling back into the vertebrae. And then when you find yourself there, just walking the heels towards the bottom, about hip distance apart, and just making sure you're nice and comfortable in your back, allowing the shoulders just to rest down into the mat and the elbows to soften. And then perhaps just take a light lift of the hips to lift the lower back away from the mat just briefly. And then just mindfully pressing it back down and making sure it feels nice and snug. And then we're just going to guide the feet to the edges of the mat and just knock the knees in. Take your left hand over your heart space and your right hand to your belly. And just allow yourself to completely relax and soften into the shape as you close the eyes down or soften the gaze, whatever comes most naturally to you. And as you drop into your awareness of your body, just noticing any parts of you perhaps where you're holding on to tension, and just invite a sense of ease and softness to those places as you let the tensions drop away from the fingers and the toes and the face as you release the jaw and unclench your teeth. And with the hands placed as they are, just start to notice your breath without wanting to change anything. Just notice the rise and the fall of the belly, chest with the inhales and exhales. And the breath in itself is just so naturally soothing. So allow this to be your guide to helping you cultivate this sense of calm and ease within your body today as we guide ourselves through this really nice, slow, restorative practice. Just a couple of more moments here with you as the body starts to relax and downregulate. And you just literally can feel that exchange of your energy as it settles from this busying and doing to a more relaxed, calm state of being. And taking one more breath. We're just going to guide the hands out to the side as if you were to have wings and just nestling into the backs of the shoulders. And we'll slowly guide the knees into the chest space and then begin to rock left to right. Just taking your time to massage the lower back and any tension that you have here, just attending to that. Being really slow and mindful with your movements. There is no rush at all. And when you're ready, find stillness, and we'll start to draw some nice circles now on the ceiling with the knees, just in one direction. And then the other. This is so nice. And finding stillness with the knees, just gently squeezing towards the chest. And we'll take an inhale here. And then on your next exhale, just gently roll, passing the knees over to the left side, just allowing them to fall to the left. As you look to the right fingertips, coming into a gentle twist through the spine. Take your left hand and place it over the top of your right knee and thigh. Just make sure this right shoulder isn't lifting away from the mat. If it is, just ease off on the twist a little. And just relax into your whole body. Allow the tensions to drop out of the fingers and the toes, the face. And take your breath, the awareness of the breath into the back space. And as you inhale, feel the ribs separate. And as you exhale, feel them gently close back in. And we'll just spend a couple more moments here, just enjoying this gentle relief of the spine and the upper body. Taking one more breath wherever you are. And we'll bring the chin to the chest to release the left arm back out to the side, and then bring the knees back in. A little rock just to realign the lower back space from left to right. And coming back to center through that inhale. When you're ready, on the next exhale, allow the knees to fall to the right as you turn the gaze towards the left fingertips. And again, just take your right palm and gently press it over the top of the left knee or thigh. This gentle reassurance into the shape. Make sure this left shoulder isn't floating away from the mat. If it is, just allow it to settle back in. And just allow everything to completely relax. As you mould yourself, your body into the shape you find, a space of ease and comfort, satisfaction. And with breath awareness, as you inhale, breathe into the back. And as you exhale, just allow everything to release. Again, a couple more breaths like this. And one more deep breath. And we'll gently reach the right arm back out, bring the chin to the chest, and bring the knees back in. Keeping the arms reaching out with that gentle rock to realign your spine. Send the toes up towards the ceiling and take the feet about hip distance apart. We'll just have a little rock through the pelvis. And then finding stillness, and start to circle the ankles around in one direction. And then in the other. And we'll find stillness and point the toes towards the ceiling. And then flex the ankles, pointing the toes towards the face. We'll do that again, pointing the toes to the ceiling. And then flexing ankles, toes to the face. Just to allow the feet to relax now in neutral. And just allow the legs just to hang out here in space, just for a moment or two, as the blood flows from the toes down to the pelvis in reverse. The legs might feel a little bit shaky, that's absolutely fine. It's just because the blood is flowing in the opposite direction to what it does usually when we're standing. This position is really restorative and lovely for inducing relaxation, as it takes that kind of burden away from our heart as well. Just allowing some rest and some revitalization, nourishment, not only to the legs but also the pelvis, the gut, the heart space. And just take one more moment here. And we're going to bend the knees in and press the soles of the feet back down to the mat, hip distance apart, and walk the heels in towards the bottom. Perhaps just realign the lower back again. And then press the palms down the side of the body. And we're just going to take a moment here as we prepare ourselves for what's next, moving bridge. So with the moving bridge, we're going to be moving with our breath, nice and slowly, mindfully, no rushing through the movement. And just really allowing ourselves that space to feel into our movements, our sensations in the body. So when you're ready on your next inhale, start to peel the spine away from the mat as you reach the fingertips up and overhead. And as you reach the top of the inhale, reach for the fingers, just pulse for both. And then as you exhale, peel all the way back down, slowly all the way down to the tail, and then at the same time press the palms down the sides of the hips. We'll do that again twice more. So inhale as we lift and we reach. Just remembering to take that and then exhaling, pressing the spine back down into the mat, the palms to the sides of the hips. Well done, let's do one more. Inhaling. And exhaling. Well, when you're ready, bring the knees to the chest, hands behind the thighs, and we'll start to rock and roll the length of our spine, a little balance on the tailbone as we rock to the top. One more, and gently creating the momentum to come back to find Baddha Konasana, with the soles of the feet touching, the knees wide, just lightly holding on to the ankles with the hands. Allow the knees to be low and light. Take an inhale, lift through the heart and the crown. Maybe just close down the eyes just to readjust. Readjust the body, the awareness in this sitting shape. And just feeling into your sensations and dropping into that deep sense of self-awareness again. And yoga really has the ability to allow us to connect to those deepest parts of ourselves, our intuition, without the busyness and the distraction of the mind. One more moment here. And then when you're ready, slide the hands just to gently cup over the toes, just really loosely. Try not to pull on the toes. And then with an inhale, lift through the heart, lengthen through the torso. As we exhale, start to hinge from the hips, melting the heart forward. Slowly, slowly rounding now into the shape as you allow the head to hang in this Baddha Konasana shape. I'm just softening the gaze and connecting to your breath. Nice deep breaths in, nice deep breaths out. Allow the tensions to roll out of your shoulders. And release the jaw and unclench your teeth. Soften through the elbows. Take a big breath into your back space. And an exhale, release. When you're ready, just gently press into the palms now as we lift ourselves up away from the shape. We're going to take the right leg out to the side, keeping that left heel snugly into the groin. Make sure the toes are pointing towards the ceiling, as is the knee. Nice long spines as we inhale, reach the fingertips up above the head. And as we exhale, take a twist to your left, just gently swimming the left hand behind you. Right hand meets left knee, as light as a feather. As we inhale, lift through the heart, lengthen through the crown. Maybe just turn the gaze a little further back. Make sure those right toes are pointing up. Let's take a couple of breaths into the back space now. As you inhale, feel the ribs separate. As you exhale, feel them gently close back in. And again, inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, reaching the fingertips up, square the hips and the shoulders forward. And turn the hips to face your right leg. On your next inhale, reach up out of the ribs. And as you exhale, lead with the heart, lengthen through the torso, hinge from the hips, and melt over the right leg. Once you find your edge, plant the palms down into your mat as you gently nestle into the shoulders. And then when you find your space to settle, soften through the elbows as you allow the head to hang down towards the knee or the shin. And we're just going to hang out here just for a few breaths, filling the back space with air. And just feeling again into your sensations and taking your time. There is no rush. Allowing your body just to ease bit by bit, breath by breath. Making those tiny little adjustments along the way, even if just a millimetre here and there. That's your willingness, your body's willingness to create that change. And when you're ready, one more breath. We'll walk ourselves away from this. And then inhaling again, reaching the hands up above the head. Exhale, cartwheel left palm behind you, press into that palm. Inhale, pick the bottom up from the mat, press hips forward, reach that right hand back in space for a little baby wild thing. Stretching out through the right side of the body. Take a nice deep breath in. And exhale, send the bottom back down to the mat. Okay guys, we're going to take those stretches to the other side. So right heel into the groin, left leg out to the side, just check in with those little alignment cues, with the toes pointing up to the ceiling, as is the knee. The spine is long. Take an inhale, reach the fingertips up. As we exhale, we'll take that twist to the right, swing the right hand behind the back. Left hand light as a feather on that right knee. Lift through the heart, lift through the crown. Let's take a nice deep breath into the back of the shoulders. And exhale as you soften and release. And take a big breath into the middle of the back. And exhale as you soften and release. On a big inhale, reach those fingers back up, square the hips and shoulders forward, and then we'll square the hips to face that left leg. Grow tall again through that inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, lead with the heart, melt forward and drape over that left leg. As you find your edge, press down into the palms, soften in and round into the shoulders, and then allow the head to hang down towards the knee or the shin. And we'll settle here for a few moments. Again, taking the breath into the back. As you inhale, feel the ribs separate. And as you exhale, feel them gently close in. And this cultivating that deep sense of self-awareness in our practice, so key. So we get the very best from our bodies, our practice. And we can then take these learnings away with us to venture beyond our mats. Taking one more moment here. Beautiful. Okay. When you're ready, we're just gently going to walk the hands back. Take an inhale, reach them up again. Exhale, cartwheel the right hand behind you, press into the palm. Inhale, pick the bottom up, press hips forward, sweep that left hand back in space. Stretch out through the left side of the body. Baby wild thing, I love this shape. Take one more inhale and exhale, slowly release the bottom back to the mat. Okay friends, let's spin the legs around. We're going to meet in tabletop. So finding tabletop position, let's check in with the alignment. So taking the hands about shoulder width apart, spread fingers wide, knees hip distance apart, hips over knees. Gaze towards the top of your mat and a gentle hugging of the navel towards the spine. As we prepare for cat and cow pose, a little bit of movement and mobility through the spine. On your next inhale, finding cow pose by dropping the belly down, pulling the heart through, gaze ahead, tail high, looking ahead of you. As we exhale, round the chin to the chest, rounding into the shoulders. Navel tucks, tail down, gaze between the legs. Inhale, rounding forward. And exhale as you round back. And again, inhale forward. And exhale as you round back. Let's do one more just like that. Inhale forward. And exhale as you round back. Inhale, find your neutral spine. Keeping the hips over the knees, walk the fingers to the top of the mat. As we press the ribs back to the thighs, melt the heart down for puppy pose. Pressing down into the forehead, or maybe into the chin if you feel really good in this shape. The gaze ahead or the gaze down into the mat. Just find what feels good for you. Nothing is right or wrong. Pressing into the tops of the toes. Taking some nice breaths into the back space, into the sides of the ribs. Would you feel that expansion? This is such a gorgeous shape, that extension of the spine. And particularly nice if you spend a lot of time at a desk. I recommend this daily if you do. And you have that option now just to turn your gaze, just to look underneath your right armpit resting on the left side of the face, just for a brief moment. And then the same, as you turn the gaze to look underneath the left armpit, resting on the right side of the face, just for a brief moment. And we'll press back into the forehead, pressing down into the forearms and the palms. We'll start to shift the weight forward to land on the hip points. And when you arrive, walk those. Harvey, come on, out of the way. Sorry guys, walking the elbows ahead of the shoulders. Harvey's demonstrating his best puppy pose for you here, guys. Honestly, the joys of having dogs, I hope you all like dogs. So as we were, before we were interrupted, elbows walk ahead of the shoulders, letter L shape with the arms, slide the feet out to the edges of the mat, and just bring a light lift to the heart, so the heart isn't dipping. We've got that light lift, and the gaze probably might be closed or soft. You also have the option to dip the chin down towards the chest for this release on the neck. But again, I just welcome you to find what feels good for you. Nothing is right or wrong. And we'll just spend a few moments here. We'll spend a few moments attending to my Harvey. Good boy. And if you feel a bit of energy build up in your lower back space, this is absolutely fine. Just as long as it's not painful at all, and if it is, you have the option just to melt the chest back down. Just remember, you know your body better than I. Okay, so just spending one more breath here. We're just going to change the shape a little bit by coming into a half frog shape. So bending through the right knee and pulling it out to the side, making sure the knee is in line with the hip, and just flexing the right ankle. So press down to the front of the hips. We'll just take a couple of deep breaths here. And one more deep breath. And when you're ready, allow that leg just to fall out nice and long, maybe adjustment through the hips. We'll do the same on the left, so pulling that left knee out, line with the hip, gentle flex of the left ankle, pressing down into the hips. Just take a couple more breaths. One more breath. And when you're ready, just allow that leg to fall out nice and long, and we'll just melt the chest gently down to the mat. Just pull the elbows out to the side, and I just want you to rest on the right side of the face. Just looking to the right. As you just take a moment's rest here, and give Harvey a belly tickle. Just allow the toes to fall in and the heels to fall out. And just be really restorative and gentle. Enjoying this moment's rest. How nice it is to take this time out of the day for you. And giving back to you in this most wonderful way. When you're ready, you can turn the gaze to the left now. And just looking to the left side. And just spending a few moments here. Make sure the glutes are relaxed. And press down into the forehead, draw the toes and the heels to touch, and then we'll slide the palms down the side of the chest. Use energy in the palms just to lift you up. Roll over the knees, round through the spine, and send the bottom back to the heels just for a quick child's pose, a closed child's pose, with the hands either reaching forward, or you can just place the fingers towards the back of the mat, palms up, shoulders round. Just a couple of minutes here, moments here. And just releasing the energy in the lower back space. And just rebounding from our Sphinx. And then when you feel good and ready to, I'm just going to peel up through the spine, sitting over the knees. Slide the palms over the thighs. Guys, if you want to spend a little bit longer on your mat today, then perhaps just guide yourself into a Shavasana for as long as you wish. Or if you're ready, you feel complete and you'd like to close the session here with me, then just guiding the hands to touch in prayer, the heart space, gentle bow of the chin and the head, and closing the eyes. And we'll just take this opportunity to honour ourselves for showing up here on our mats today and giving back to ourselves in this most special way. An acknowledgement of you showing up. It's really important that we take time to do that, because sometimes it's not so easy to show up for ourselves on our mats. It can take a little bit of effort. I understand that. We have our days, we all have them. So just make sure you take the time to acknowledge that and how good you actually feel now for giving back to you in this way. And we'll offer gratitude for that as well. And I would like to extend my gratitude onto you for trusting me to be your guide. It really is an honour to be here with you and to share this time and space. So I'm wishing you a gorgeous day ahead, and I hope it is full of all the things that you love most. And I look forward to seeing you here again soon. Have a great day. From my heart to yours. Namaste.